Hi, sorry, it's just Luca from Universal. Just want to add, so this is, you're right, this is a minimum data requirement, and the standard is very in-depth in terms of it allows us to capture a huge amount of data with regards to revenue in terms of, usage type, number of seconds it was used and so on. So you're right, to begin with, when people use this, the minimum set is a good start, but we want this to almost be like aspirational. So this is, the standard allows people then to populate the other fields as and when their local systems allow them to actually populate that. So it's kind of future-proofing. So if at first this is all you can do, that's great, because already that can be a step forward to some of the data that we do get. But as and when your systems become more sophisticated, then you can start adding in the broadcast data, the usage data, et cetera, et cetera. So just by implementing this, it means in the future you don't have to change the actual file format. You can just keep mapping more and more data to the standard.
Yes, thank you. So are there questions online?
Okay, this is Chester Wilkins again. Expertise in metadata, ISRC, UPC, GS1. Very wealth information. Thank you again for both for the she explained it really clearly. My question to her would be, first, if I provide her certain of the companies that pays out on the revenue stream, the information that is needed, accuracy, to what would be the outcome of that, first of all? Because we have a lot of data and a lot of clients now that we are recording albums with UPC codes and ISRC codes. ISRC is very important. Also speaking from the ISRC end too. I'm just giving you a heads up on that part. So from what my question is, if I provide all the information that I just seen to the companies that are paying out, would my clients retrieve all their revenue? Because some of the clients that I have right now are legacy clients, and we are dealing with problems within collecting royalties. And from what I've just seen there, I've seen some of the questions have answered to me, but I've also seen at the end, when they were talking about ISRCs, that's down our alley. And I was like, okay, what about the UPC code? So again, if we present dormant ISRCs and dormant UPC codes within the repertoires, are we still going to receive the royalties to the right people that are being on the curation sheet? That's my first question.
While I'm not 100% sure I understood the question, let me try and answer and see, and you can tell me whether that answers that question. In one word, yes, as long as we talked about Rdr-N at the beginning, as long as the music licensing companies have received the information about the recordings and where they have been used. So Rdr-N allows you to say, hey, it's this recording and it appears in the following products, the following UPCs. As long as that is known within the music licensing companies, they should be able to use this to report that back. But Rob disagrees with my statement, so he will now correct me.
Yeah, I disagree with your statement. So yes, but it's an MLC is a matching hub in the middle of usage and registered repertoire. So however perfect your registered repertoire at the MLC can be, if they are not able to match it to usage that they get from radio or any other paying user of music, they will not be able to report back in this type of detail. And actually, that is exactly the reason why ISRC is not mandatory, because sometimes it gets reported back without ISRCs.
Okay, great answer. Love that answer from both of you all. Being an ISRC manager since 2007, I've quoted over 50,000 records, okay? And ISRCs now and UPCs, what we are doing, we are merging both of them. So let's say if you're putting the music into the distribution application, some of the distributors ask for ISRC and UPC codes. And also, if you're registering any stuff within the United States, certain platforms, the ISRC and the UPC codes are being asked. So this is where it comes back again. If I'm hearing you saying that it's maybe important, maybe it's not, but it's being asked in every application of every product that's being put on music-wise, from video to audio. And also when it comes to claiming the repertoires, it's being asked in the repertoires. So I'm saying that if the right information is not on the ISRC and the UPC code, we're gonna still be facing problems in the accounts department. I'm just putting it out there to you from experience, from what my company is facing from our end. I mean, from what I'm hearing just now is like, okay, should I give out my clients to this in this platform on this change, because it is important with the high-end legacy clients we have, because a lot of clients in the United States that we have, they have not been getting their royalties, they've not been getting paid. Their music are top all over the world. And these are some of the problems that my company is facing on retrieving certain funds to them. So I'm saying is, if I open up that floodgate with that information that I'm hearing from today, I don't want to mislead the wrong information from experience from the last 17 to 18 years of the way we've been doing certain things. I'm just saying from my experience and where I'm at right now, I'm asking not only for help, but for direction, because we are getting clients every day. I can show you how we code the music, the metadata, how we put it in the system, how we are retrieving the money from going in from the GS1. A lot of the UPC codes are wrong. They have wrong people's name on them. They have wrong companies. The distribution companies are giving out wrong codes to the tracks or whatever product is being put into the system. So you're having problems from the set-go. So I'm telling you all, we're having a lot of issues on this end. And from what I'm seeing right now, if this is the way that you're telling me this is have to go, I'm open to give all the catalogs and all the clients we have this way, because we have those clients, we have access to those clients. I'm just saying that we have an issue right now with people are not getting their royalties the right way. And the problem.
Sorry, can I cut you off there? So this is all right. I'm trying. This is the loudest that I can go. This is Alkmini from Beggars. So you keep referring back to UPCs. You keep referring back to the US. So I think you're mostly referring back to the actual products that go into the digital supply chain, whereas we are looking into the neighboring rights of things. So everything boils down to the ISRC. So that being said, we are talking about something that is completely recordings related. It relates to the neighboring rights. It relates to the music licensing companies around the globe, and not exactly on the product level where you go into the Spotify and you just press the play, and then you need to figure out how you're going to import those usages back to your system. These are two completely different revenue streams. Does that make sense? So we are talking about different messages at the moment, even different reporting systems. If you're talking about the digital supply chain, then you should be looking into the DDEX standard for DSR and what they're doing on that side, or into the analytics and how you get the reports straight from the CMSs. Does that make sense?
You explain everything you say, you explain what you're saying. What I'm talking about is playing the music. And if you're claiming and you're putting that in the system to get revenues, most of the repertoire and the claim forms ask those applications that she has on the screen. So what you're saying, I understand what you're saying, is both sides of what you're saying of revenue. So you clearly said what you said, but I'm saying we stay on the track on the music and whatever is being put into the system. So I'm just asking the question that from what I'm seeing there on there, from what I'm hearing today, I just want to make sure when I deliver this information, it goes the right place.
I think okay, let's start with that. Your metadata and your label copy system, it should be consistent regardless of where you're sending that data. Like, it's still going to be the exact same ISRC, regardless if you're sending that to Spotify or if you're doing a claiming report somewhere, or if it's the same recording. So that's the principle. It's the same logic if you're setting up a super specific product that needs to go into the digital supply chain. It has a super specific QPC that follows that product. That's your database, like that's your actual data.
I think to some extent, it has something to do with garbage in, garbage out. If the data that is in the system or in the various databases is inconsistency, and that goes back to what Archimedes was saying, then of course whomever receives this message or whomever sends this message, and whomever then needs to match A to B, may very well match wrong things to each other, and with all the unfortunate circumstances that entails. Having said that, having this ability is the only way we can actually deal with as long as the data is clean, with actually efficiently communicating the data over in the first place. So you're right. Sorry, I didn't get your name. You're right in that there is a danger that you are sending the wrong data based on this message if your input data is wrong. But I don't think that is anything that should stop us from, or stopping you from doing that. Somewhere this error in the data will need to be surfaced. And this can actually help with that, funnily enough.
Yeah, thank you, Niels. So just may I suggest that we continue this, and maybe it gets clearer while we talk about the implementation of things, so that you understand maybe a bit more of the background, what we're talking about, and if there's still any doubt on your side on how this works, we can discuss it after our next topic, I think, if that's okay with you.
Thank you. Chris, you wanted to raise a question.
Chris Apple. In the examples here, you have the allocation share percentage and then the gross amount. I'm presuming the net amount is supposed to be multiplying the share percentage to the gross amount to get the net amount.
So that is another oddity of the message. Some of the net amount information and all of this is originally placed in the summary message, but because the details message can be sent without the summary message, we needed to add those values in there, and they may all be the same because they is an aggregate of all of that revenue for that sound recording in the territory that you've got the rights for.
Okay.
So yes, there is some logic with the and validations, but there may also be some discrepancy because a lot of the information that would be sent in the summary detail, in the summary message, that revenue can't be broken into individual sound recording levels. So the net amount in the end should tally, but there may be more revenue information in the summary message than there is in the details message, because VIII advances, all of that can't often be broken down on detailed sound recording level by territory.
Okay. And then the other question I had is, if I recall, a lot of this architecture and structure was taken from the DSR message. Is that?
The original multi-block structure.
Yes.
This one is just.
Oh, so this is the SRBV variation
Yes.
of, okay. Because I was gonna say, was there a reason why there isn't, like in the MRBV DSR, you have your release record, your resource, and then you have SU records where you can say the usage, so you don't have to necessarily repeat everything. But if this is the single, okay.
That is what Rod will tell us about. So this one is what you're referring to.
Yes, okay.
What we're trying to do is get as many as possible to implement that.
And hence the record type definitions all start with an S at the beginning, because it's a single line where all the data is aggregated in. That's where that
Yes.
strange rogue S comes from,
Yes.
from
and,
SRS.
and it also means that because of that, there will be the repetition that Rob was referring to.